So we are about 72 hours away from having what could be a catastrophic impact to people being fed in this country, as we are now experiencing the second longest government shutdown in the history of this country. And both of those shutdowns happen under leadership of our current president. I want to start there with leadership, because what Mike Johnson and folks are saying is that, hey, this is because the Democrats won't agree to fund the government for 7 weeks, the way they've all done it before. And that's why the SNAP benefits aren't coming. Senators, whether folks who are senators and representatives, whether you're talking about the House or the Senate, I don't like, but I can understand how they can be partisan. What partisan, Dominique? Meaning that they want to focus on party lines, whether they are pushing only Democratic-backed ideas, whether they're pushing only Republican-backed ideas. I think it's a fool, but I can understand it, because they represent small communities. They represent people that they actually can reach out and touch and know. The one person in all of this conflama whose job is to serve everyone in this country is Donald Trump. The one person who has the power and has made the intentional choice not to utilize emergency funds to ensure that SNAP benefits can go out to folks in our country is Donald Trump. The same person who tore down the east wing of the White House last week to begin construction on his $300 million ballroom. The same person who sent $40 million over there to Argentina for that man to win his election. The same person who was just out of the country doing the cha-cha slide the other day while your stomach is doing the cha-cha slide. Now, I get it. I understand this idea of feeling like you are working yourself to the bone and people are getting free food stamps, and the videos of people, y'all shouldn't be going out there buying all of these snacks and this, that, and the third. First of all, Susan, you make $12 an hour your goddamn self. You're not paying that much in taxes for you to have the audacity and unmitigated gall to feel like you are funding the food in the house. Let me see. Last year, we spent $99.8 billion on SNAP benefits for over $41 million a month. That comes down to about $273 million a day. I promise you, your $10 per paycheck for federal taxes ain't making that happen. Two, as someone with no children, as someone with no children in school, as someone who doesn't give birth, there are so many subsidies that everyone benefits from that some of y'all find to be okay, but y'all want to focus on what people eat, what people are being able to purchase. You mad because somebody got crab legs. They had $200. They spent $50 of it on crab legs. Would that be the choice that I made? No, but it's not my mouth. And there's some language that's being used around, you ghetto lazy people. 63% of SNAP recipients are white folks. 63%, 27% Black, 27% Hispanic. Now, the numbers look disproportionate because of our population, but also I want to name, there's always been riggery and foolishness around the census in our country, and they are already preparing to add some more foolishness to it. 87% of SNAP recipients are born in the United States. So this idea that undocumented people are snatching the corn kernels out of your mouth is a goddamn lie. I also wanted to know the top states where people are receiving SNAP benefits: New Mexico, Louisiana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Do you know that those are mostly ran by Republicans? That these are mostly states that supported the current president? So yes, up there in the White House, he's making it seem like these are blowbacks and retaliation measures on Democrats. But why ain't he looking out for y'all? Y'all put him in that position. You've put him in the position to make his family billionaires again. Through cryptocurrency, he's out here selling you all Bibles with his name on it. I mean, bitch, the idolatry is out of line. At the end of the day, the day got to end in the words of Gloria, hallelujah, And what I know to be true is that, yes, the Democrats could acquiesce and then they would push these things through and people would have SNAP benefits. But they're holding the line when it comes to access to medical care that may not always be affordable, but the closest to affordable that most people have had in our lifetimes. Second of all, We have watched how the Republicans do not let things go. They are like a dog with a bone to get what they want. That's how they have the power they have now. So for them to get up there and make it seem like the Democrats are just being unreasonable is wild business. Like, the Democrats are finally pushing back, finally saying go to hell, and y'all want to make it seem like it's the worst thing that ever happened. And last but not least, the true gag is that the Democrats could hold the line for medical care and people could get SNAP benefits if the president of the United States realized he was the president of the United States. Not the president of the people he liked, not the president of white people, not president of the states that voted for him, not president of the people who like Charlie Kirk, not president of the people who put his face on a shirt, not the president of the people who kiss his ass, the president of the United States. Whether you voted for him or not, right? He is the president of this country, meaning that his job is to make sure that this country does well. So the gag is the Senate and the House could be in lockdown and turmoil. And right now, Donald Trump could open the floodgates to make sure the SNAP benefits were released across the country. The same way that he took that motherfucking, he sat out there and watched that motherfucking tractor and that hammer, whatever the fuck you use to tear down a building, bitch. The same way he watched that tear down the East Wing, he could tear down the barriers to people making sure that they had food stamps come November 1st. Two truths could take place. For a man who has utilized and weaponized his power, he always moves first and asks questions later. He has no concerns about having to take something to the Supreme Court to send stormtroopers into goddamn Seattle or Chicago. Why now is he concerned about what rules are in play when it comes to emergency funds? The rules only apply when you could break the rules to actually serve the human beings you've been voted to serve? Some bullshit.
I am TJ, and this is Life Lessons. First of all, I love Dominique and her commentary. She always gives it to you straight, well thought out, and in your face. I just love her. I'm going to add my commentary to what she said because she's spot on. And the interesting thing about it is, with all the information that she has stated, there will be those who say, well, that's not true. You know, I was talking to my husband the other day and I said, I'm going to stop saying I have never seen this in my lifetime. The whole time I was in the military, I've never seen this. The whole time I was in the civil service, because nobody else has ever seen it either. How they've made these federal agencies that are nonpartisan, partisan, to the extent of the message that was put on the USDA website. The fact that the president would demolish a whole wing without congressional approval. And the fact that some people are so stupid to say that, well, they're private donors, one, or he's paying for it too, never considering the fact that either way, whether he's paying for it or the donors, he ain't planning on leaving. And if donors are paying for it, it's not because they're feeling altruistic. It is because they expect something in return. And if nothing else I can hone in on, that I would like to hone in on what Dominique said. Whether you are Republican and you are held to the account of your Republican constituency, or Democratic and you're subject to your constituents, the President of the United States is a president for the whole people, all the people. All of them, whether they voted for you or not. And that is why, like I said once before, when I was in the military and my mother wanted to talk about George W., I said, listen, and I didn't vote for him, but he was still my boss. And he was president over everybody, whether you liked Obama or not. He was president over everybody. Does that mean that I agree with everything he did and or didn't do? I absolutely didn't. And he would often say, whether you voted for me or not, I am your president. Even Biden, there are things he did I did not agree with. But like that, I'm your president whether you voted for me or not. Because the bottom line up front is that no matter who is in that office, you're not going to please everybody, even the people that voted for you. But you at least want to have the best interest of the people at heart. And he ain't even playing. He ain't even pretending. He making clear, if I don't care about you if you didn't vote for me. I don't care about you. I don't care if you starve. And I don't care if the people who voted for me starve too, because again, I got a point to make at your expense. And I have a question. He said he was going to get rid of Democratic programs. What are those programs that are Democratic? Because once again, these agencies are supposed to be nonpartisan. And our military is supposed to be nonpartisan. And before you come over here trolling, don't. Just don't, because I'm just going to block you. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.